2015, my grandfather took me home to his house. I was driving. He was in the passenger side seat. My brother Kareem, wave your hand, was sitting behind him. And then my other brother, Ibrahim, raise your hand, he was sitting behind me. And Ibrahim and Kareem was talking to one another while me and Papa was talking to one another. And Papa was like, baby boy, 5 to 10 years from now, after you finish at the Salvation Army, God gonna call you back and you're gonna pastor Now Testament Church, and the fellowship's gonna have about 5,000 people, 10,000 people, and it's all gonna go to you. And at the time, I was thinking, Papa, I don't want your church. I don't want the Now Testament Church. Like Chantel said, I thought that what God called me to, I was headed towards. In October of last year, God struck me in bed, and he said, it's time to leave and go start the church. It's time to go claim your inheritance. And you are to get it and then pass it to your children's children. And it broke me, because in my heart, I had settled to retire with the Salvation Army. I had worked for them for 12 years. As a pastor for 7 years, we worked for them for 12 years. And I didn't want to give up everything that I had built to go and build again. But the Lord broke me. And he said, it's time to leave and go start the church. And so I resigned right away. January 6th, I had no house, I had no car, I had no money. I had to get a bed for my sons to lay their head, and my sister and brother-in-law so graciously welcomed us into their home, and we have been living with them ever since. The day that I moved into their home, my sister came to me and said, I'm pregnant. That was 9 months ago, which means she can give birth to her child today. So wait a minute, 2015, Papa told me I'm going to start my church. This is 2025, to the exact day. My grandfather had a vision. It was called Pride City. I had no idea about this until a month ago. Oh, this is going out. Papa had a dream, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there was land, and in the center of the land was a church. And to the right and to the left was businesses. It was barbershops. It was restaurants. It was a bowling alley that kids could come. It was a shelter, a community center. But in the center of it was a church. And he had somebody from Mexico to come and draw up his vision. And he slapped it on his wall, just like the Amazon sign. And for at least 30 to 40 years, Papa came up with different schemes. He started this church, but he would come with different schemes to fund the vision that God gave him of Pride City. I had no idea. A year ago, God gave me a vision. And in the vision, I walk into, it's like a green building. And to the right, it's a restaurant, about 4 or 5 star restaurant. And it had to be on a Sunday because the restaurant was closed. And so I kept walking to my left, and then I walk into this big edifice, and it's a church. And then when I woke up, the Lord spoke to me saying, that's going to be the ministry. But notice that the first thing I saw was not a church. The first thing I saw was a business. It was marketplace. And so the Lord was telling me that what I want you to build, it's bigger than a church. And the Lord, because the building was green, I went to Revelation to see if emerald was anywhere. In Revelation chapter 4, verse 3 or 4, it talks about emerald being around the throne of God. And so I knew that God gave me something special. And so I told Chantel the name of the church is going to be Emerald City. And we're going to build a city. It's not just going to be a church. The church will be the beginning.